everybody. Welcome to Daughter of Wind. I'm just kind of trying to settle in my body. Settle into the porch. I have a lot going on with a couple of other projects I'm working on. So getting back into this space and having an opportunity where the mosquitoes aren't so bad, and even though it's a little warm, it just feels good on my skin. So let's get into this. Okay, it's Taurus. I waited. It's been Taurus all day. It was Taurus. So y'all must be going through something. We will not start with these cards. Okay. We're going to start with the Moonology cards. But those are like my comfort. It's like my comfy blanket is that deck right there. So let's get some Moonology for you, Taurus. We'll get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and pull past, present, and future energies. I was going to make this complicated. What's in your future, solstice, what have you. We're just going to see what comes out. I was guided to use these specific decks, and so I am. And they're like very specific decks, so it's like a pun on the pun. Oh, that's a nice cool breeze. That feels good. God, I love these birds, right? Don't you? Alright, so let's get a past energy. Okay, and I'm going to get a present energy. Okay, and we're going to get a future energy. Okay, so it looks like we have Cancer, Virgo, and Leo. So we have water, earth, and fire with hold your vision, fixed moon on the bottom, which is like a nothing. It's kind of like void of course moon. Hold your vision. It feels like you're really balanced. I only say that like it feels like a progression because like when you're in your waters, right? When you're in the water sign, you're in your feels. Like that's what water signs are all about. That's why I'm not a big fan of them. Virgo is like you're focusing on the small things. You know, you're taking care of the details. You're tending to your garden, if you will. And then Leo is like out the gate. Like everything's been, I've kind of like gone through, that's what I'm feeling. It's like, okay, yeah, it's cycling. And you might be cycling with the moon as well. It's something that I strive for. I don't always, you know, achieve it. And so, interestingly enough, yeah, I'm wondering, so what element are we are missing air? I wonder where the air element is coming through. So should we do, like, it doesn't feel like we should do tarot. We're going to go ahead and get an animal element in here and just see what you were dealing with. Like, what? Oh, you know what? And there was a reason why. Okay. I was limited. I have my little box. It's a traveling box of 30 decks, and I was limited to what I could bring out here. And this isn't my normal set of... So, anyways, I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone, and maybe that's a message for you, right? So let's go ahead and get an energy. I can't see. My glasses are over here, but I just don't feel like it right now. And I don't necessarily just need to see in order to intuit, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at this. We're going to clarify a personal issue has reached a resolution. This is full moon in Cancer. It could have happened whenever that last full moon was in the sign of Cancer, so you might want to look that up. But for me, I just take these visually, and it's just like, it's something that was really, you know, Cancers are one of, I would say, even over more of a Pisces, because Cancer is like the middle child, right, of the water signs. Well, it's not. Actually, it's the first child, isn't it? Scorpio would be. No? Yeah. All right, let's not get into that. See, as I digress, I'm going to stay on track because I was feeling good and feeling good on time. We're going to go ahead and clarify why you were in your feels. I'm going to trust my... There's a lot coming through about trusting your intuition, right? And trusting what you know. Not what you think you know, but what you know. And I'm like, why am I questioning myself? And, well, I'm just usually not this vulnerable on a camera, and I also know I'm being watched, so there's that. Okay, clarify, what's the personal issue? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take Deer in reverse. No, I'm not. Never mind. Okay, I do not take this deck in reverse. And I just got reminded of that. Because once you start doing that, then you really question all of your... So, you were gentle, perhaps, to someone. Bring a gentle touch. Bring a gentle touch, perhaps, to yourself. See, this is where I can't... I know this sounds terrible. I can't stand tarot, right? Because it's like, was this for yourself or is this for someone else? Let's go ahead and find out. That's why I use this monster combined beautiful deck that I have that I call the Euro Trash deck. No offense to anybody that's offended by that. I only say that because it's a knock on how rigid and I don't know. I feel like being in the spiritual community, I don't have to pretzel or box my way into people's meanings. And so when people are like, it's sacrilegious, and I'm like, we're not in the church, are we? To mix a couple of European decks. And then I had an opportunity to speak with the actual artist, Ciro Marchetti, like through a Facebook forum community. And he was like, you do whatever you need to do, but it was never meant to not. He's like, I never thought about putting them together, but I never thought about not putting them together. And that was kind of like this super big validation and download for me, that even though I got it from him and that was super satisfying, he was like, what he basically said in like this 4-page report was that if it gives you the results you need, then you do it. Oh, like, I love it. So, why am I explaining myself? Well, the Deer card is my Virgo card. We are, you know, reading for the sign. I am reading for the sign of Taurus, but we all have layovers, and, you know, I'm a 5-planet Virgo, so those, that's a planet and an aspect and a sign that I need to pay attention to much more than I do with my 5 degrees in Capricorn as a sun sign, right? So, no. What was this about? I wanted to say Virgo again. Taurus, need to be gentle. What? Okay, so it has something to do with work. That's what I love about these cards. If it comes out and it's like work, it's work. There are 2 work cards. So the toil and labor card is for me in my personal lexicon with my guides. Means for me that this is a job that you're not a fan of. When I get the occupation card, when she's like on there, I don't know if she's sewing or writing. I think it kind of morphs for me here and there. It's something that you're like eager to do and something you really love. And these are just like the slight little details that I get. So it's definitely about work. And what, because I feel like there's just a personal issue reaches a resolution, having to bring, so maybe you laid down, maybe you had to take the high road, which sometimes means the quiet road, right? Let's see, what was it about? What was the, oh, okay. So we have official person, so it's a boss. Like, this is my boss card. This is my official person, which means the emperor, equivalent of the tarot, which means that somebody at work, that's, I'm getting malignant. I don't get that a lot, and I'm getting malignant narcissist, which I have definitely come across, but I don't think it's ever come. You can watch all of my videos. I don't think that word has come out of my mouth. You're having to be gentle. You're having to lay down a personal issue. But you know, the other side of this card, like they have their full moon and their new moon. The new moon says, Cancer, you and your loved ones are safe. Full moon says, and we got a full moon coming up here, that things are resolved. A personal issue reaches a resolution. So maybe this has been like something that just has come up, or maybe not so much, but like really was brought to a head because that last full moon was during an eclipse, right? Or it was an eclipse itself. Let's go to a time to give rather than take. I'm going to go ahead and get an animal card for this one. Yeah, Cancer. I'm already like, I feel myself like slowing down and I feel like you're feeling good that I'm explaining things, or at least being able to like know what you're feeling. I think that's the thing, is you haven't felt heard with this person. And that's another thing with the deer card, especially for the other deck that I used that I wouldn't want to bring with me. It has the antelope spirit, and that's what I'm feeling, even though the ears are down here, and I feel like that's why I needed to have this card, because there is a deer card there, and I do call it my Virgo card over there, and this does simulate that same animal or body language that it does, but the other one there just feels a little more like graceful. This one feels a little more meek and like odd one out, and kind of like someone, it feels like a leaf is like someone is trampled like on their face or something like that. Like, yeah, it's a very, very meek card to me. We got Know Your Worth on the bottom, Skunk Spirit. Let's go ahead and get, that's what we were doing, that Virgo. That, yeah, that whole deer spirit brought me into it. It just feels trampled tarantula. That's what I'm getting. That's weird. All right, let's go ahead and, that's my favorite bird noise, by the way, is that woo. It sounds like a, what do you call it? A kazoo? Yeah. I need to leave my tea bag in there so it stays wherever it needs to stay. Okay. So what's the present energy for Taurus, not Virgo? Ooh. This is a fun card. Do you see them? Oh gosh. I don't know if you're gonna be able to, there's two squirrels that are like losing their minds after each other right now on that tree. You see them right over there? Oh, that's crazy. Now is a lucky time. Like I was about to say, this is like my up and go. This is real-time fun stuff. Okay, we're still recording. I'm like, are we still recording? We're still recording. I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh my gosh, that was wild. I love, that's another thing about like, you know, going out and having to be grounded. Like, you start realizing coincidences are coincidences, timing isn't timing, nature. Like, you'll find birds flying next to you while you're on your bike, and it's not just me. Okay, you just have to pay attention. You'll see ants waving at you from a crack. Oh my gosh, this is so long. And it's really you that I need to be looking into. That was wild. Now is a lucky spirit, because this is such a like, go, go, go. This is my... It's not tomorrow, it's not yesterday, it's today. Let's frickin' take off, and it's time to give. Like, I have been really trying to figure out, can you hear them? They're taking the bark off the tree. That's wild. I'm like, where is Squirrel Spirit right now? I'd be so surprised if it came out. Sorry, distracted by squirrels, nonetheless. Yeah, this is a go card. This isn't like golden egg from the other card. This is a time that, and it says time, oh, that's where I was going with it, is I am pivoting. The last time I actually stayed at this Airbnb, I stayed in that room where those girls just checked out of. And I'm staying in the room over here, and I was just getting the tail end off of like an actual flu that laid me out. And the 3 weeks before that, I had an eye infection. It was the whole universe telling me like it was a coyote moment, and it's turned me into the space where I am now. And now I'm back here like a month and a half later, and everything has changed. My whole identity has pretty much changed, and it's been like, it's a lucky time, it's a lucky time. And so there's been this pressure, but there hasn't been a like, it's been kind of my own, but not from a bad place where before I was like, you got to get this done. Like, you know, because I kept getting the card, which drove me nuts, is Turtle Spirit. Soft or slow and steady wins the race. And I was like, you can go fuck yourself, Turtle Spirit. I don't do, but you know what? I did a lot of things fast and I never completed anything. And right now I am in this space of almost, and I'm not saying being done. And that's one thing I'm also realizing. Last night I was like, do I need to have an About Me page? It would be nice, but that's not necessary if I need to make it today. And now that, you know, I was like, am I going to the flea market today? And it was like, no, I've got things to finish so that, like, I can have a couple days to just rest and get myself, like, physically prepared after doing all this mental, like, and it's been, you know, I do about 90 minutes during the day and 90 minutes in the afternoon and sometimes around the midnight cycle. I'm pushing through tiny bites. I've never done this before. Like, I've had the intellectual prowess to know it's something that I need to do and that it works for other people, but I've never had the just, I don't know, worthiness to feel like I matter to myself enough to spend this much time into putting things on the front end. My camera's too hot. Got it. Alright. That's really hot then.